What are your expectations for each department or as they collaborate?
So we follow the CCP every day in every collaboration. So each group at the beginning of the year set up norms, and they work through each week off the agenda that they set for themselves. The agenda includes which part of the CCP that they're working in today. So the expectation is that they always start with the end in mind. They're always looking towards that assessment, and then they're working from there. The expectations are candid collaboration, common lesson planning, and a constant reflection over best practices, what's working, how are we applying it, how are we moving forward. It's been going really well. I mean, our PLC groups are small, which I think is can be powerful, but can sometimes be a hindrance. Powerful in the fact that we can get a lot done, we can stay focused, and we can call each other out a little more easily because we're a smaller group. It can be a hindrance, though, because it is just less brains in the room working towards a solution oftentimes.
Back to assessments. How are your assessments created?
Okay, so we use as many star-released assessments as we can throughout the year. So we'll break them down and pull questions from there if we run out. So for example, 8th grade social studies, we often run out of star-released questions. So when that happens, then we take the sentence stems and the structure of the answer choices, and we just substitute the content that we need. So if we have to do the same thing in math and language and science, we do that, but we always start with the skeleton from the star stem. So basically what's happening is at the beginning of the year, they're testing at the rigor that they need to test at the end of the year. So we should see the trend line increase. They're not going to score as high in September and October on a test that we're expecting them to score really high on in May. So that trend line and those graphs and everything that we keep and that we look at, we should see that gradual increase in score because we're testing at that high level throughout the entire year.
Are you in every collaboration?
So I am in every data dialogue for English and social studies. For our reading labs, this is something new we've done this year too as well. We have data dialogues with our reading lab classes. They don't always give the same assessments as our on-level students because the students have taken the assessments there, but we do two things. We look at their students as an isolated group as if it were their assessment, and then we also pull in other pieces of data to have a dialogue around. So in our reading lab, that looks like their conference notes, their reading levels. Those are kind of the two main places. In our math lab, those look different. Those look like some of the AVMR strategies that they've been working with and the different levels students hit there. So I'm in every single data dialogue. I'm in probably 80 to 90% of the PLCs for English and social studies. And then we have Lynn Hayden, who is in the math dialogues and PLCs, and Chris Barrow, who's in the science dialogues and PLCs. And then Colwell has every single data dialogue on his calendar, and he's in every single one of those.
Okay.